Welcome back to my good reviews. All right, y'all. This is my spoilers review. Again, the spoilers review for It. Welcome to Derry, Ep.3. Again, it's a spoilers review. Before you click on the video, I just want to warn you guys. But again, we're close to 1,000 subscribers. After that, we're going to 10,000. We're on our way to 100,000. We're going to be in a million. We're going to claim, and it's going to happen. So, all right, y'all, man. Like I said, I'm a fan of the show. I'm a fan of the remake It movies that came out in 2017 and 2019 that Andy Muschietti directed. And he actually has a cameo in this. He has a cameo in this. So in the beginning of this episode, it's a flashback back to 1908 because the show takes place in 1962. So in 1908, you see a young little boy. He's at a carnival. It's one of the carnivals with the bearded lady and the twins, the conjoined twins, all that kind of stuff. And you see the little boy kind of like weirded out and stuff like that. But there was something really interesting in the background. So you see like a little girl, but she's a clown. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little girl dressed up in clown makeup, but she has like the balloons and stuff like that. And people kind of insinuate, hey, this may be Pennywise's daughter and stuff like that. It doesn't really go into detail about it. But anyway, getting right to the video, you see the young boy. He goes into the carnival. You see an old guy in the background, right? Old guy tells him to come closer to him, and it freaks him out, right? Kind of scares him. Little boy runs off. Now I'm going to talk about my pros and my cons in this video because I definitely got some cons, but there's more pros than cons, you know what I'm saying? But overall, you see the little boy run out. Later on, you see him and his dad. His dad gets him a slingshot. He befriends a young little girl, who's native to the land and stuff like that. So they're playing out in the woods, and he runs deep into the forest. And that's when she's like, no, don't go in there. Anyway, he's in there, and he starts, it starts getting a little weird, and actually starts seeing the old man that was from, the sideshow, what I'm saying, the carnival. He's in there, and it was a creepy moment. He's like peeking behind the trees, and he starts chasing after him. There was a wide shot of the actual guy, like all running after him. That was pretty wild. I ain't gonna hold you. That was pretty wild. Little boy, next thing you know, the old man changes to a monster. And like I said, going to my cons, the CGI, man, the CGI in this was not the best. You know what I'm saying? It was a little too goosebumps for me. It wasn't as scary at all. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the young little girl, she saves him. She hits the monster with the slingshot. We all know, okay, that's Pennywise. You know what I'm saying? Just in the form of a monster. Anyway, the little boy gets away. That scene right there does have a big impact later on in the show, right? But anyway, after that goes back to the present day, 1962. Then you see the girl Lily. She's actually, she was in the asylum and stuff like that. She's about to leave out. And the girl Ronnie, her father, he's in jail now, and so the sheriff is telling the dad, say, "Hey man, what they do to child killers down there, down in Shawshank." So I'm like, okay, we get some world building. Of course, this is all Stephen King novels. You got Shawshank, you got It. You know what I'm saying? You got The Shining, all this, I'm saying? Dick Halloran, he's a part of The Shining. So this is really good world building. That's something I really do like about this show, right? Anyway, of course, see Dick Halloran. I mean, not Dick Halloran. Yeah, you see Dick Halloran. He's with the army and stuff like that. And now, what's the gentleman's name? Yeah, James Remar, who played Ajax in The Warriors, if you guys remember. He plays General Francis in here. Anyway, pretty much Halloran, he's on the plane, and he has like the slingshot. He gets the slingshot and everything like that. Next thing you know, he starts having visions because the army's trying to like, all right, well, where's this energy? They're trying to like weaponize Pennywise, right? Anyway, he kind of like it's kind of he's using the whole Shining and everything like that. And you see Dick Halloran, next thing you know, he's having a vision. He sees the army and stuff. He sees the whole Pennywise thing, like the whole carousel opens up. You see Pennywise's eyes, and he's like, "What are you doing? Like, who are you?" You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh shoot!" He kind of see him, even though he didn't see him in his form. But then he sees like his grandmother in the sky, and I think his grandmother had the Shining as well. And he almost tries to take himself out, but if it wasn't for the other brother who plays Taylor Page's father, Will's father, you know what I'm saying, the Major, he saves him and stuff like that. So overall, man, it's a very good show. Like I said, I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but overall, I love it, man. I love the child actors. I love the girl who plays Ronnie. I love Lily, Will, Rich. You all see them kind of become friends and stuff like that. And Ronnie and Lily, like I said, I'm kind of all over the place, but they're trying to express to Will and Rich, like, hey man, we're seeing stuff and stuff like that. We need y'all help, because we're trying to get pictures. If we can get pictures, then we can, save her father. We can save Ronnie's father from going to jail, and I won't have to go back to that crazy house. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you see Will and Rich help, go to help them out and stuff like that, trying to get pictures. So Rich is like, hey, my family says, if you perform like a seance in a graveyard, stuff starts to happen, right? Later on in the show, they do that, in which crazy things started to happen. Again, you started to see the kids who were, in the first episode, you started to see their ghosts. They started to chase after them. So it becomes a whole big thing. Again, like I said, this is towards the end, so I'm kind of all over the place. But yeah, man, that becomes a thing. And then, of course, they try to get the pictures, and they do get some images. You know what I'm saying? So overall, like I said, and towards the end of the episode, you see them in the, the developer and stuff like that. And man, he was like, well, what's that at the end? He's like, oh shoot, it's a clown. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but overall, man, I absolutely love it. Like I said, you get more world building. As far as like you get some more time, with the major and my man again, Dick Halloran, what I'm saying? You start to see their relationship build and stuff like that. Next thing, Francis, who I'm sorry, General Francis James from our character, you find out that, oh shoot, he's the little boy, what I'm saying, from the beginning of the episode, because he goes back to the stores where the Indian lady, she is at the store that she owns. Pretty much that, she was like, oh, you're the like this is you, what I'm saying? So they befriend each other again and stuff like that. And he's trying to help her out, like, hey, there's something out there in this forest and stuff. So the military knows that Pennywise is real, because of Dick Halloran and stuff like that. They know that, hey, there's an energy out here, but now since he was friends with her, what I'm saying, he remembers that and stuff like that. Now he believes Dick Halloran that, hey, there is something out there, regardless of what the military says or not. So overall, man, like I said, this is a very good show. Like I said, they tease Pennywise at the end. Episode 4 out here, he's supposed to come out. So yeah, we're going to see how it is at the end of the day. But episode 3 was very good at the end of the day. But anyway, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hope everybody has a blessed day. I'll see y'all soon. Have a good one.